Hi,
Hey
everybody.
everyone.
Welcome to the Microsoft Pulse. Today you have Tamara and Tom who will be going over what's changed and what's new in the Microsoft 365 roadmap. Yes, I said Microsoft twice. I want you to know where this is coming from. And we're going to start. There are four different sections. There's in development, which means Microsoft is working on making it happen. Rolling out, which means it's on its way out to tenants. It'll be in some, but not in all. And launched, which means if it was designed to come out to your tenant, it should be in your tenant by that time. And then we have canceled. And those are items that have been canceled or they found a duplicate. And I believe we have one of those today. And we got a ton of love for Copilot. Microsoft is really doubling down on Copilot. This is a huge, huge report today, but we're going to cover the highlights so you don't have to go digging. So, Tom, did you want to get us started off with in development?
Sure, I can do that. And since you led me into the Copilot realm, I'll go ahead and run with that one right away. So Microsoft Teams, Copilot in meetings will suggest follow-up questions to ask it, which I think is a really interesting feature. So when Copilot in Teams meetings responds to a prompt, something you asked it, it will also suggest follow-up prompts to keep the conversation going. These questions will generally be based on the response it gave prior and could be related to honing in on a particular topic, asking for more details, or asking what a particular person said during the meeting. I think that's really useful because a lot of times you ask the question, but there's more questions that probably should be asked. Copilot's going to kind of help you say, hey, you might want to ask about this, that, and the other thing too. That's coming out in February, so keep an eye open for that one. Then if we go into Microsoft 365, referenced sources are cited in drafted content. So in drafting content that's based on reference sources, Copilot includes citations in the text it generates, indicating references to information in the content. So this is when you like give it a set of files to work with, what's commonly known as, RAG. Basically, here's some more information to look at. You can pass along those things. And then what it will do is when it's giving you answers or drafting that content for you, it's going to point back to specific parts of the documents that you provided. This is really good because it helps cut down on the issue of hallucinations where it makes up answers because it didn't have a good one to give you. This enables you to go back and say, okay, this is what it told me. Here's the reference. Does that really match up and make sense? So I think that's a really good change coming. It's actually out there in 3 different entries, and it's out there for January, February, and March. So for some reason, they've got 3 of them out there. They look all the same, but I'm sure they're slightly different. Then we have Microsoft Copilot. Write a prompt for selected portions of text in Word. Now, writing a prompt to draft content based on your selection no longer expands your selection to the entire paragraph, table, or list. You can prompt based on a single sentence or item. So this is really cool. Normally, what you can do is just go out and highlight a sentence and say, based on this highlighted sentence, give me information about blah, blah, blah. Where before it would say, here's the sentence, oh, I'm going to take the whole paragraph. Well, the whole paragraph may not be uh, applicable to what it is you're trying to get draft content for. So that's going to help you a lot in being able to get answers that are or content more specific to just the part in the Word document that you want to look at. And one more before I hand it back over to Tamara for a little while, and that is Copilot on OneNote Canvas. So this allows you to use Copilot right in your workflow by incorporating and invoking Copilot to generate a summary, a to-do list, or help you rewrite the content on the large page or based on your selections. Especially if you're using a OneNote for like a policy and procedures manual or something like that, this can really help you in terms of saying, hey, take this OneNote, summarize this particular page or these 2 or 3 pages, and tell me what they're all about. You're going to be able to do that now in OneNote, where prior to this, you really didn't quite have that feature. That's coming out this month, so keep an eye open for that one.
All right. Also in development, we have Microsoft Teams Intelligent Event Recap in Town Hall and Webinar. So Intelligent Recap is now available, well, not yet, not till February. Will be available for Town Hall and Webinar event instances, just like the Intelligent Recap experience that you're used to in meetings. Now, again, this is with Teams Premium. Event organizers, co-organizers, and presenters can now easily explore the meeting recording by speakers and topics and access AI-generated meeting notes, AI-generated tasks, and name mentions. In addition to availability with a Teams Premium license, intelligent event recap features are also available in Copilot with a Microsoft 365 license. Then we also have Microsoft Stream video reactions. So this feature is going to allow users to add or remove reactions to specific points of a recorded video via Stream web app and embed. So viewers will be able to see how their colleagues feel about a video and show their support towards the video owner. These reactions will be present in the timeline to highlight the most important parts of the video and can be used for navigation. Well, that's interesting.
Well, at least
Also,
they don't have the poop emoji there, so that's
yeah, they don't have
positive.
the poop or thumbs down emoji. So also, owners of the video can see detailed analytics about when viewers are reacting to videos and have the ability to disable the feature. This feature was incorrectly updated to a status of rolling out upon preview availability, and Microsoft apologizes for any inconvenience. But it should be rolling out to GCC Worldwide, DoD, and GCC High sometime in January. I have mixed feelings about this. To me, this is right up there with the SharePoint blog that we used to have. And CEOs wanted to have a blog, and then they turned on comments, and then they got disappointed that nobody was commenting on their blog.
Or they didn't like the comments they were getting.
Or they didn't like the comments they were getting. That was a rare feature because it also put in your name when you put in your comments. So, but I can see this going really well or horribly awry. All right, let's see what else we have in there. I'm having a little trouble with my mouse and Teams. I know that comes as a surprise to some of you.
Would you like me to carry on some stuff until you find some things?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So now I'm actually hearing an echo. So I'm going to go ahead and toss out one, which is hashtag New Outlook for Windows. That is insert signature into calendar events. So users can manually insert a signature into a calendar event, much like they can in the classic Outlook. So this is one of those things where they're trying to get the new Outlook for Windows up to the same level of functionality as the classic Outlook client. That's due out in April, so don't hold your breath a lot because you could turn blue by then.
You would die.
Another one that we have in Outlook, and this is for also new Outlook for Windows, but also Outlook for the web, and that is name pronunciation on profile cards in Outlook Web and Outlook Desktop. Now you can record and share the okay, I'm not going to use this feature, the correct pronunciation of your name, promoting inclusivity and helping colleagues avoid mispronunciations. With a click, you can play and listen to your colleagues' name pronunciations. I've tried to write a tip on this because at least in the Teams client, we have it. My tenant that I'm running. But for the life of me, I cannot get the thing to record with the headset that I'm working with. I've tried different things of recording off of the laptop. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I love the feature. I love the idea. I just haven't got it working yet, but it's supposed to be out this month. We'll see how that actually plays out. And it is coming to everybody, GCC Worldwide, GCC High, and DoD. So keep an eye open for that. Then we
Okay,
also,
so we have
go ahead.
Outlook, an internal version of PST support in new Outlook for Windows. I know people who have saved every email as a PST, and they are up in arms because there was no story about what they could do with these PST files. So now I think people will be having a little parade just in time for Mardi Gras. So this will be March. The initial version of PST support in new Outlook for Windows will enable users to open PST files, aka Outlook data files, read all email messages within the PST file, and search email messages within the PST file. This initial support is limited to mail items and is read only. All calendar, contacts, and task data saved in the PST files are still there. They just can't be accessed in this initial version. So that's coming out worldwide. Then we also have SharePoint Copilot agents in SharePoint. So SharePoint users can create a Copilot agent in SharePoint simply by selecting the SharePoint sites and or files and share these Copilot agents with your team to use in SharePoint or Teams. Now that's saying January of 2025. We also have in Microsoft Teams speaker recognition and attribution available in additional meeting spaces. So in January sometime, you'll be able to take advantage of the speaker recognition and transcript attribution and AI capabilities in additional meeting spaces. From those equipped with a Teams room to those relying on users' PCs and a bring your own device room, this feature identifies and attributes people in live transcripts, utilizing a unique voice profile for each participant, enabling intelligent recaps and maximum value for Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams meetings. Users can easily and securely enroll voices via Teams settings. A Teams premium license is required on the host's desktop in the Bring Your Own Device room. Tom, did you want to touch on a couple more Copilot-y things?
I've got a couple other things I'll actually mention. I don't know if I'll hit Copilot yet, but we have Microsoft Teams schedule messages in channels. So like in chat, you can now schedule send messages in channels, optimize the timing of when the message goes out based on the people's work hours, out of office time, so on and so forth, and making sure they show up at an opportune time instead of at 2 a.m. That's coming out in January, so that should be out there. Again, that is coming, actually that's just coming to worldwide, but I have a feeling that if it's out in chats for GCC, GCCI, and DoD, got a feeling that this will probably follow shortly thereafter. Then two Clipchamp ones, which are interesting. Transcript-based editing in Clipchamp. I really like this idea. We are introducing a novel and streamlined method to quickly and accurately remove any unwanted sections from your Clipchamp projects by leveraging the transcript. With transcript-based editing, browsing text, editing unwanted words, and removing them will also remove from the video without the need to navigate the timeline. We're looking to making this a more productive thing by more intuitive, straightforward, blah, blah, blah. I just think that's cool that you can go in and say, hey, that big chunk that they talked about that you really didn't want to have talked about in this, I'm going to go erase that from the transcript, and all of a sudden the video is going to look like that was never even said. I think that is an awesome feature. That's coming out in March. Also coming out in March is something that's also kind of cool, and that is sharing a portion of a video as a clip. Clipchamp allows authors and editors and viewers alike to share a portion of a video without changing the original media. Using draggable handles on the playback timeline, a link containing the desired clip start and end is put in the clipboard for easy editing and sharing. Opening this link will play only the specified clip, and viewers can easily pop out to view the full video if desired. I think this is really nice if you just want to have that, 1 minute clip of the CEO talking, even though they were talking for 30 minutes. Just get those little snippets out there, much like you can do with YouTube and stuff like that. So that's also coming out in March. Keep an eye open for that one.
So we do have some joy for GCC High and DoD, and that's Microsoft Teams Notes powered by Loop. Now, I haven't seen Loop yet in the DoD environment, and this is set to come out in March. So is this the announcement that Loop is going to be joining the DoD? So what it means is Teams Notes powered by Loop will be available in Microsoft 365, GCC High, and DoD environments. Teams Notes are Loop components in Teams meetings and chats that allow end users to co-create and collaborate on their meeting agenda, notes, and action items that can be co-authored and edited by everyone. Now, since notes are Loop components, they stay in sync across all the places they have been shared. Assigned tasks automatically sync with To-Do and Planner. It's going to be interesting because the DoD is not using To-Do, so we'll see how that works out. Then, I don't know about you, Tom, but I'm really excited about this one.
Okay.
SharePoint approvals integration in document libraries.
It does sound intriguing.
Yes. SharePoint document libraries will begin to leverage the Approvals app in Microsoft Teams. Users will be able to navigate to automate dropdown, configure approvals to enable the feature on the library, and then once enabled, you'll be able to specify the approver for the file, submit a request which will appear in the Approvals app in Teams, or can be approved directly in the library. Now, once approved, the file metadata will update in the approval status column. And this is coming out in January of 2025, and it's worldwide and GCC. So excited about that. What else do you have, Tom?
So we have OneDrive catch up with Copilot. So with Copilot, you'll be able to catch up on important updates such as a summary of new app mentions that need your attention, new changes made to files you've been active in, and quick snippets of new files shared with you. Catch up will be available in OneDrive Web for our commercial customers and requires a Copilot license, which all these things that mention Copilot require a Copilot license. Catch up will initially work for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files. Again, to me, that's one of the big values of Copilot is going, hey, catch me up on all this stuff so I don't have to wade through and do it myself. Really looking forward to that one. OneDrive, ask Copilot questions about images. Now you can ask questions about images stored in your OneDrive, select up to 5 images, and ask questions like explaining the contents of an image or extracting relevant text from an image. This also requires a Copilot license. This is coming out in February, and it's coming out to the worldwide tenant. This is really cool. If you've ever played with putting an image into ChatGPT and saying, okay, extract all the data from this and tell me what it says, it is a really cool feature, especially the first time you see it and you're like, wow. So you're going to be able to have that kind of feature to deal with. And then one that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm always looking for a shortcut to get the work done easily and faster, OneDrive, create a presentation from a Word file. With Copilot, you can create the first draft of your presentation using a Word file in just a single click. This requires Copilot, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But in April, this is when that's supposed to come out. And again, not that it's going to be a perfect presentation, not that it's going to possibly be everything that you wanted it to be, but I think once you work with it and understand that, hey, if I do my Word document this way, I can have it build 50, 60, 70% of my presentation and then just add on from there. I think that's a really cool thing. One other thing, and then I'll turn it back over to you, and that is Microsoft Teams forward messages to and from channels. You You can now forward messages between channels, allowing you to effectively share important information with relevant team members. To forward a channel post reply, or chat message to another channel, one-on-one or group chat, select the message ellipsis menu and choose forward. That'll be a lot of fun to work with.
Yeah, and then we've got Microsoft Teams inline preview of files shared. So now, or in February, you'll be able to review a file shared in chat and channels in the flow of your work. Select preview and scroll through the file's content without ever leaving the chat or the channel, which always used to bother me. It would just take you out of the whole conversation, plop you down in this different window, and then you had to try and get back to where you were in order to respond regarding that file. So I'm very excited about this. That's coming out to worldwide, GCC High, DoD, and GCC. Then we also have in-meeting chat, Copilot, and notes pane can be popped out from the meeting window in Microsoft Teams. So, and I like this because I can't see real well and everything's small on the screen. So if somebody's sharing their screen, I've got this 37-inch monitor that I use, 37, 34. It's big, it's curved, it's huge. I use that monitor to make the meeting as big as possible so I can see what's going on. Well, this way I can still follow chat and any notes without taking up that space. I can put that on another monitor. So yeah, I am excited about that.
That'll be a real good one.
Yeah. What do you think, Tom? Should we keep diving into in development or should we roll on to rolling out?
I would roll on to roll out because, yeah, this was an absolute humongous list. So I think it's time that we kind of move on to rolling out.
If you're into OneNote or Loop at all, Loop got a lot of love and OneNote got a lot of love. The stuff for OneNote, though, is coming out in March and June. So if those were ones that you are looking at, Loop or OneNote, be sure to dive into the Microsoft roadmap. So let's move on from in development. It was a huge list, over 100 items. So let's go over 200 items.
Oh, it was well over 200. Yeah, because we don't start until line 261 for rolling out. So yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. So it was huge. Tom, what do you like in rolling out?
So got a couple things here. One is in Outlook. And of course, this one also is hashtag new Outlook for Windows. Outlook, none color category for mail and calendar in the new Outlook for Windows and Outlook for the web. What this basically means is that you can categorize something, but you can categorize it in such a way that there is no color attached to it. Where usually it was like, oh, you just, if you don't want a color, you just don't categorize it. So now there's a none color category for this. This update provides more flexibility and customization in categorizing your emails and calendar events. By selecting the none option, users can now choose to have items without a designated color, allowing for cleaner organizations and more control to see how things stand out. The other thing that I'll also mention in the Outlook category at the same time is you'll be able to categorize single items in a conversation view in the new Outlook for Windows and Web. So this functionality allows users to categorize individual emails within a conversation thread without having to say, I want to categorize this, but I got to categorize the entire thread when there's only like one email in the 20 in this thread that I really care about for categorization. Now you'll be able to do that. That was actually rolling out last month, so you may already have that. So take a look for it. Same thing with the none color category. That was also rolling out in December, so it may also be out in your tenant by now.
I like the Outlook pin favorites at the top in the new Outlook for Windows and Web. So you can easily access your most used folders by pinning them to the top of your left nav bar in the new Outlook for Windows and Web. This feature is going to streamline navigation, ensuring your important folders are always within reach. And that's for everybody. GCC, GCC High, DoD, worldwide. Everybody's getting some love on that one.
I think that's
And
great where I don't have my folders now named AAAAA important. AAAA1 important, just so everything gets to the top of the
that's
list.
you on the shared drive?
Could be.
Oh, all right. Outlook work hours and location in My Day. So work hours and location information will now be available in the My Day pane in Outlook when using Agenda View. Users will be able to update their work hours and location information from My Day and also see who's coming to the office. This feature will be available in the new Outlook for Windows and Web. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. And
For
that's coming
those,
out to worldwide.
just so we explain that hashtag thing, for some reason, when they started talking new Outlook for Windows on the spreadsheets and the roadmap stuff, they used hashtag new Outlook for Windows. And we've just kind of embraced that. And yeah, we love talking about new Outlook for Windows.
All right, I got one more. Microsoft Teams' ability to take control during screen sharing on the web. This always struck me as hilarious because you could just snatch control.
Me.
Well, this update enables meeting participants using Microsoft Teams web app to use the take control function to request control while another person is screen sharing. And that's coming out for everybody. GCC High, DoD, GCC, and worldwide.
Civility back into your meetings.
Yes. Anything else in rolling out you want to touch on?
No, I do not.
All right, let's go on to launched. What do you got in launched, sir?
Actually, there's 4 items in launch, and I really didn't see anything that really floated my boat here.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can talk
I
about.
have a bunch of items in launched.
Then you go for it, because all 4 are yours.
All right. We've got update Copilot chat on OneNote for iPad. And that launched in December. And that's in the worldwide tenant. So OneNote Copilot on iPad is your intelligent assistant, transforming the way you interact with your notes. With simple natural language commands, Copilot helps you understand and summarize and rewrite notes for enhanced clarity and purpose. It's designed to work seamlessly on the iPad, offering a contextual chat experience that allows you to accomplish tasks faster than ever. Whether you're preparing for a meeting or organizing your thoughts, OneNote Copilot on iPad is a perfect partner for boosting productivity and creativity on the go. Also, OneNote Copilot on Mac
With exactly the same description as the
with
one she
exactly
just
the
read
same
you.
description. And Microsoft Copilot is becoming available for the GCC environments. So that will make Copilot available for GCC. Again, you do have to buy the license. And finally, Outlook drag and drop to download attachments and emails for GCC. So currently worldwide users can do this, but now GCC users can do this, which means users can drag and drop attachments from emails from the new Outlook for Windows to their desktop or local folders to download them directly to that location. A feature that is already available in the worldwide tenant will now be available for customers in GCC. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. Tom, do you want to take what's canceled?
Sure. One item that's canceled. Microsoft Teams customize who receives shift request notifications. This probably only matters if you're using shifts. But it really doesn't matter at all because we will not release this feature at this time. We're sorry for any inconvenience and we'll continue to share updated roadmap entries as additional features and functionality become available. So yeah, if you were hoping to have that and you use shift, you're not going to get it at this time. But they are sorry about it. So there's that.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week with more information that's important to be aware of, and we'll see you then. Thanks so much. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.